Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your host, Queen Lily, and today we will be discussing the election, as you all know, and we are all ready for it. We're all anxious about it. Some of us have already voted, yes, for the 2024 presidential election. Yes, we have. I voted already. I voted October the 15th. We have 6 days left. And for the past couple weeks and days, I've been working on this election. Right now, I'm being a voting ambassador. I'm doing my YouTube channel about the election. I'm working hard for this election because I believe in this election. I believe in our country. I believe in us. I believe in my candidate. We will win. We will win. Yes, 6 days left. We're going to discuss Donald Trump. Hey, LaSwan, how you doing, King? How you doing? VP Kamala Harris. All the drama Donald Trump has going on, y'all. It is getting out of hand. To me, it's rather ridiculous. It's to the point now, a rabbi is speaking on it. Yes. I don't like what's being said about Puerto Rico. They are human beings. They are God's children like we are. I disagree with so much that is going on. And now we have where people are setting the voting boxes on fire. MAGA has gone so far to fight at the polls, jump on the poll workers. They are abusing poll workers. That is so outrageous. They're there to do their job. And yeah, I was going to go do work at the polls. I thank God I didn't because, honey, if somebody put their hand on me, I am going to defend myself. Yes, I will. But it's just so much going on. This is a huge election. It is imperative that you vote. Get out and vote. I voted early, October the 15th. This is the biggest election ever, the most important election ever. So you got to get out there and make your vote count. You matter, your vote matter. We're going to get this party started. Y'all ready to get started? Because like I said, we only have 6 more days, and we're going to get it started up in here, okay? Thank you all for coming to my live. I am Queen Lily, and we are discussing the election. Hi, how you doing? Sevilla, how you doing? I'm Queen Lily. Lily is my name, but my channel is called Queen Lily, and that's what I've been called for some years now, Queen Lily. So I'm going to go ahead and get started so we can have a great show today. Yes, it is October the 29th, and I got a show for you. I'm going to read some of your comments. Lady Sparkle Smooth 111 says, salute, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's right. Vote blue, vote blue, vote blue, vote blue. Vote. Get out and vote. Please. I'm encouraging you to get out and make sure your vote counts. It is election time. Vote for whatever candidate you want to vote for. Your vote counts. Gotham said, okay, Lily, I told him that already. What will you do in your show? I'm talking about the election because, it's election time here in the United States. I don't know where you are, but in the United States is election time. And as I stated, I already voted. So my vote has already counted. It is counted. It is in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me take a sip of water. We're going to go ahead and get started. As you know, we have 6 more days left before November the 5th. That is an actual election day. But we are early in voting. And we have to November the 1st. That's the last day of early voting. Get your vote in, or you're going to be in that line November 5th. And when you get in that line on November the 5th, stay in that line. It's imperative that your vote is counted. So I'm going to show y'all a video right quick about the ballot box getting burned. MAGA decided to put out violence again. Every day, MAGA is about violence. I also want to let you guys know I have memberships. I have 2 different kind of memberships. The first one is the Ruby's membership. It is $4.99. And the next one is Diamond's membership, which is $9.99. And if you will want to support my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. Yay! Support my channel so I can grow. Thank you. So I'm gonna show y'all a video. I hope I saved that video. Please, Father God. Okay, here it is. Thank you, Jesus. This is what MAGA did. That's a voting box where you drop off your ballots. Y'all, it's getting scary. It's getting serious out here. Protect your vote. Get in that line and vote. Early voting ends November the 1st. Get in the line. This is what MAGA has done. They are trying to stop your vote. Look at that. Jesus be a will and a vessel. Uh-oh, that light went out. That's okay. This is what's going on. They burning up the ballot boxes to stop your vote. Let me tell you how important it is your vote is. It is so important that MAGA is getting out there burning up the ballot boxes. So that lets you know how important you are. You are more important than they want you to believe you are. Yes, you are. So we can't let each other down. Get out there and make sure your vote counts, okay? We're going to get back to my notes, okay? Thank you all for coming to my live. I am Queen Lily, and all of you are beautiful kings and queens. I am grateful to have you in my chat. It is election time, and it is important to make sure your vote counts. So I'm going to give you the definition of white supremacy. White supremacy is the belief that white people constitute a superior race and should therefore dominate society, typically to exclusion or detriment of racial and ethnical groups. That is what's going on today with this election. We even watched the comedian at Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden, where the guy was being being a racist towards Puerto Ricans, blacks, and any other race he could think of. His tongue released demonic stuff from it on other races, people that are black and brown, black and brown. So again, I'm gonna read the definition again. White supremacy is the belief that white people constitute a superior race and should therefore dominate society, typically to exclusion or detriment of other racial and ethnic groups. So I'm going to show you this video. And in this video, Donnie Boy has pissed off the Latinas. The Latinos or the Latinas? It's the Latinas right now because I think it's a bunch of women he has pissed off. Caesar P said, Lily, greetings from beautiful Mexico. Hello for my Mexican people. Hola. So we're going to watch this video, okay?
I'm Kyle, a lifelong Republican. Trump calls Kamala Harris a socialist, but his budget would explode the deficit. Harris has a plan to help people like me without spiking the deficit. I'm voting for Harris in November. She's the right choice.
One day after Trump's most disgusting rally yet at Madison Square Garden, the fallout has been massive, and I woke up to headlines and stories like these. The New York Daily said, racist rally in the largest font possible. The New York Times said, Trump at the Garden, a closing carnival of grievances, misogyny, and racism. And Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project said, Donald Trump's racist New York City rally was vile. It was also political suicide. And there was one moment in particular that they're all talking about. With every major news organization reporting this story, I had a lot of options from the heaviest hitters with strong opinions to pull from. But in this report, I'm going to focus on The View because I think the women there, mostly minority, really captured the emotion in a way that the news commentators did not. Let's begin with Whoopi Goldberg setting the table for what happened yesterday, the focus of our story, and the panel's nuclear reaction will follow.
He did it. You know, he was here. An alleged comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe. They had a whole thing going. Take a look.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
A spokesperson said the joke was in poor taste and did not reflect the campaign's or you-know-whose views.
And I had that clip for you from Fox News of all places at the very end. But for now, let's stay with The View as Republican and Latino Ana Navarro holds Hinchcliffe's and Trump's racist feet to the fire, followed by Puerto Rican Sonny Hostin calling on other Puerto Ricans and all Americans to take out the trash that is Donald Trump.
And he didn't just make jokes about Puerto Ricans.
No, he didn't.
He made jokes about blacks.
Yep.
You know, the whole trope about watermelons. He made jokes, a vile joke about Latinos that we can't even put on daytime TV.
Yep.
So today we are all in this together. And I'm going to say this particularly to my Latino community. If Trump asking for the death penalty for 5 young men of color, black and Latino, the exonerated 5 wasn't enough for you. If Trump getting investigated for refusing to rent to black people wasn't enough for you. If Trump promoting a racist trope against the first black president with the birtherism wasn't enough for you. If Trump calling Mexicans rapists and criminals and bad hombres wasn't enough for you. If Trump calling us vermin, invaders, people who poison the blood of this country wasn't enough for you. If Trump throwing paper towels at people in need after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico wasn't enough for you. If Trump saying immigrants have made this country into the trash can of the world wasn't enough for you, then maybe, just maybe, this comedian, handpicked, chosen, vetted by the Trump campaign because he reflects what Trump has said his entire lifetime, maybe that will be enough for you. And on November 6th, I want you to vote for your heritage and your traditions and your identity. I want you to vote with dignity and self-respect.
This Puerto Rican has something to say about the island that I love, where my family is from. Puerto Rico is trash. We are Americans, Donald Trump. We voluntarily serve disproportionately high in the military while you have bone spurs. And we vote. Pennsylvania is home to almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans. North Carolina, 115,000. Georgia, 100,000. Arizona, 64,000. Wisconsin, 61,000. Michigan, 43,000. Nevada, 27,000. We vote Donald Trump. Trash. And by the way, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Bad Bunny, Luis Fonsi, and Mark Anthony have over 345 million followers on Instagram. I think you only have 26 million. Since you care so much about size. And we don't like what was said about Puerto Rico. And we know how to take the trash out, Donald Trump. Trash that has been collecting since 2016. And that's you, Donald Trump. And finally, my fellow Puerto Ricans, trash collection day is November 5th, 2024. Don't forget it.
The Madison Square Garden event was meant to be Donald Trump's curtain call. Win or lose, he wanted to take one final bow in his home turf for the cult to kiss the ring one last time and do so in the rally format that has served him so well. But there was something that Trump did not count on, something that would turn his self-tribute into one of his greatest dumpster fires, and that is his own hubris. He thought he could sneak an obscure comedian in for 12 minutes to warm up the crowd with racist rhetoric, and it would go unnoticed. Well, It did not go unnoticed, and we can only hope that Trump's blatant hubris resulted in an Achilles heel that drags him down at the finish line, and as Rick Wilson put it, a political suicide. And now for the final word that I promised, and ironically, this is something that comedians dream of. It is Trump's spokesperson condemning the racist rhetoric found at Trump's racist rally on Fox News. You cannot make this stuff up.
This morning, the mainstream media has picked up on the comics comments, which were offensive, have been denounced by the campaign and everybody else. What went on with that?
Look, it was a comedian who made a joke in poor taste. Obviously, that joke does not reflect the views of President Trump or our campaign.
The devil is a lie because, honey, it definitely reflects the Republican Party because Donald Trump has always said racist things. Always. This is nothing new for the Republican Party. So she needs to come correct when she's making statements because her statements are not true at all. I'm living proof. I'm a black person. Donald Trump has been a racist all his life. Even when his father was alive, him and his father would not rent to people of color. Even if they had the credit and the money, Donald Trump and his father, who had dementia, which it is being said, Donald Trump has dementia, but that is not the reason that he's racist. Donald Trump is racist because it runs in his bloodstream. So he's going to accept what was said at his rally, and he has not apologized for the racist comments that his comedian has said. You know why? Because that's who Donald Trump is in the core. He exudes who Donald Trump is. When he made those comments, and she's talking about one joke. No, girl. It was more than one thing that comedian said. He said several racist things. Be correct when you speak. So we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you some more things of Puerto Ricans reacting. But let me go turn my air conditioner on because today in Atlanta is warm. Yesterday it was chilly in Atlanta. So I got to turn my air conditioner. I'll be right back. One moment. I'll be right back. Just a moment, y'all. I'm coming. Okay, I'm back. I'm back and I'm black. I'm back. So I'm going to show you this video, and it is about Puerto Ricans reacting to the island or garbage comment. I'm going to play this for you, okay?
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
A controversial joke during a Trump rally at New York's Madison Square Garden. Now, many Latinos in Central Florida are condemning the comments and saying it could be changing the way people vote. And as the election gets closer, what could this mean for the former president? News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez explains.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe took Puerto Ricans by surprise with his words about the island of enchantment.
A lot of people are going to change their vote.
Kissimmee Trump supporter Robert Figueroa tells me he's rallied many Boricuas behind the former president, but now he's considering not casting a ballot at all.
I was going to vote for Donald Trump, and when this guy came out on New York, he started talking about Puerto Ricans that we were garbage.
He says he wants to hear from the former president. If you had the opportunity to speak directly to Mr. Trump, what would you say?
I would tell Donald Trump, don't put people talking about bad Puerto Ricans about us, and then you're not going to win, because we will make you win.
Trump's team called it a joke, but community leaders are taking it very serious. ¿Cómo se siente ser puertorriqueño y escuchar esos comentarios?
Mira, fue como una bofetada.
Jorge Figueroa is the president of the Puerto Rican Chamber of Commerce, representing hundreds of businesses in Central Florida.
That do not belong in politics. He was definitely not a joke. And all of those who thought it was funny. You know, it shows their true face. You know, and is nothing less than pure racism.
He and others held a press conference to condemn the comment and push Latinos to the polls.
You don't have to be Puerto Rican to see what happened here. There's no excuses for what we saw.
In Kissimmee, Stephanie Rodriguez, Getting Results, News 6.
Donald Trump, you effed up. Let me grab my charger right quick. Donald Trump has seriously effed up, because those people would normally vote for who? Donald Trump. You're not getting their vote. They're done with you, Donny boy. You effed up the preacher's money. You're in trouble. You're in deep SHIT. Donny boy effed up. So, MAGA, what are y'all going to do about your candidate? Because he effed up the preacher's money. Real bad. Real bad. So I'm going to give y'all the definition of racist, which you probably already know, but this is a part of my program because we are discussing racism, racist people that do not like black and brown people. I myself is black, so I'm not happy with this at all. So racist, characterized by or showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. That is what's happening in this election, y'all. Racism is real. That guy is a racist that made those horrible jokes about black and brown people. And no matter how much MAGA and Donald Trump and his flunkies try to say, especially about the watermelons, come on. There has always been a comment made towards black people. Always. And they have always said Latinos like to have a bunch of children. That's something that's always been said about the black and brown culture. It is racist. 100% racist. I'm going to read the definition again because MAGA needs to understand the damage that they are doing out here. And they're actually outnumbered when it comes to the black and browns. You are outnumbered. And the thing is, Puerto Rico is a beautiful place. I've been there a couple of times. The people are beautiful people inside and out. They're just like the black culture. They got different light, dark. Some people in Puerto Rico are darker than me. That's how the black race is too. They are some of the most loving people. That's what I'm going to do. Because it really upsets me what is going on right now. So I'm going to read the definition of a racist again. Characterized by or showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized. Do y'all not recall when Donald Trump went to Puerto Rico? And MAGA gonna put in this chat lies, all lies. They love to put that. Even if I showed them a video of their candidate doing it, what MAGA say? Lies, all lies. But anyway, I recall when Donald Trump went to Puerto Rico after the hurricane, what he did. He threw paper towels at the people of Puerto Rico. Seriously? And y'all still say he's not racist? Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. So, there's hope for Detroit Democrats, which Donald Trump talks so much smack about Detroit. It's getting worse every day. Dear God, Fix it, Jesus. I ask that he step in because Donald Trump and his stooges, I'm gonna let this commercial.
Everything we're talking about today is high on our list. The whole country's going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands. You watch Detroit. You know, for 40 years ago, I've been hearing about Detroit's coming back. Never came back.
It's so great to have Alyssa Slotkin on the show. Great to see you again, Alyssa. You're, of course, running for the U.S. Senate in Michigan. We'll talk about that race in a second. But I would love for you to draw the contrast between Donald Trump's dark vision for America, his dark vision of Americans, which we saw on full display as he was bashing Detroit, and compare that to the hope and the optimism you felt on that stage with your former boss, President Obama. I think Eminem was there as well. Let's roll a clip.
Vote! Put down your phone and vote! Vote for Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. Vote for Tim Walz as the next vice president of the United States. Vote for Alyssa Slotkin in this whole incredible Michigan Democratic ticket. Get your friends and family, neighbors, co-workers to do the same. Because if enough of us make our voices heard, we will leave no doubt about the outcome of this election. We will leave no doubt about who we are and what America stands for. And together we will keep building a country that is more fair and more just and more equal and more free. That is our job, Detroit. That is our job, Michigan. That's our responsibility. Let's get to work. Thank you, Detroit. Thank you, Michigan.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work for our country. We got a lot of work to do because all the videos I have showed y'all, you have seen what is happening. The first video, it was MAGA set the ballot voting boxes on fire. You watched the discussion with Dunny Boy pissing off the Latinas and Puerto Ricans reacting to Donald Trump. And I discussed racism. We got a lot of work to do in this country. And I'm not giving up on our country. This is our country. Make sure you get out and vote. I got out and I early voted October the 15th because my vote counts. Your vote counts. Get out and vote. Let them know they're not going to stop your vote. They can try to burn more ballot boxes. You're going to go get in that line. That's what you're going to do. I got in the line and I had to go to an important award ceremony because I received the Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joe Biden. I stood in line for an hour and a half and I was late, but I got there in time to get my award. So don't say you don't want to be in a line a long time. It's part of life. This is the most important election ever. I am encouraging you to early vote, please. And if you can't, I understand you can only go November 5th. That is fine. I'm okay with it. But I really want you to try to early vote because if you're worried about lines, November 5th, that line is going to be long. Anticipate on it. It's going to be long. It's going to be long. We're going to move on for the typical Trump rally. Nothing surprised me when it comes to Donald Trump and MAGA. They are a group of people that would do anything to win the election. Don't let it fall on deaf ear. Anything. Lie, steal, cheat, whatever is in their blood to do. Adrian Sanchez, you got a right to your opinion, but I love VP Kamala Harris, and she got my vote. And I'm out there rallying for people to vote for her. Hey, it is what it is. And she already won. Trump don't stand a chance. He's a loser. He's been a loser all his life, like his father.
Is where we begin
they just had money.
That Trump
Losers.
Rally at New York's Madison Square Garden that wasn't just reminiscent of the pro-Nazi rally held there in 1939. It actively mirrored that event right down to Trump's white supremacist ghoul, Stephen Miller, echoing Nazi rhetoric in his speech.
America is for Americans and Americans only.
That's great-grandson of Jewish immigrants Stephen Miller, echoing the words of that night in 1939.
I'm going to make a bold comment. He said America is for Americans only. Okay, Europeans. His ancestors are from Europe. The Native Americans, which were the first Indians here, this is their country. Even some of the Mexicans, this is their country. Because California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and I think it's one more state, actually belong to Mexico. So, Europeans, get back over there to Europe. This is not your country. Your ancestors come from Europe. Get to go and pack your bags and go. Because you already told us when VP Kamala Harris win, well, she already won. When she win, y'all leaving this country. Bye. Peace. Deuces. Get out. This is our country. Get out. You're not welcome here. Because y'all are not the original ones in America. So when you're talking your smack, you sound so stupid and dumb. Like 1, 2, 3, get the out of here. Go. You're not welcome here. Y'all run your D-suckers all day long talking about black and brown people. You're from Europe. You're actually from the Caucasus Mountains where they used to eat raw meat. So if you want to say get out of this country, your ancestors were not from here. No, get out because you're going to win. You already told us that you're leaving. Get the F out of our country. Do us a favor. Deuces.
Americans, in case you had any doubts about that being full blood and soil talk from Miller. Of course, they tried to cloak the fascism of it all by rolling out a litany of MAGA losers and celebrity has-beens like Dr. Phil, who used his minute to whine about DEI, but only has a career after being offered West Texas white man DEI from Oprah Winfrey, and disgraced and disbarred former America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani, who claimed that Palestinian toddlers are murderers, while accusing Democrats of being on the side of terrorists in Israel's war in Gaza. And if you don't think they know fully or knew fully what they were doing, one speaker, radio host Sid Rosenberg, said the quiet part out loud.
I get back and they go, Sid, you want to speak at this MSG thing? I go, sure. Out of character for me to speak at a Nazi rally. I was just in Israel, but I took the gig.
I will again remind you that Stephen Miller paraphrased literal American supporters of Adolf Hitler at this rally. This is not a joke. And yet people like that offered the meat of the MAGA closing argument last night in an event.
I just read a comment in my chat. I'm going to go to the comment right quick. Then I'm going to shut you down. And I want y'all to stop commenting in my chat with the BS. Somebody commented, King Scott, he commented, Kamala is not black. She is Jewish and Irish. I have to go through this with white folks all day that's not black, nor Jamaican, nor Indian. They run their D-suckers all day long about a race they are not a part of. So how can you speak on a black race or the Jamaican race or the Indian race? Well, you're not part of it. You don't have the melanin to sustain what we do. Hold on. I'm going to shut you down with your D-suckers. Hold on. Please. Hold on. You run them D-suckers all day long about a race you know nothing about. Nothing about. Just a moment. So this is Kamala. Her college days, that's her father, a black man, Jamaican black man. That is VP Kamala Harris' father. He's not Jewish. That's her mother, a darker Indian, but beautiful. This is VP Kamala Harris. She is half Indian, Asian, and black. That is her beautiful husband. That is her when she was at Howard University and she graduated. Look at her mother. This is her when she was young. Her days at Howard University, a HBC, black college. Her beautiful mom, a browner woman than me. Her and her husband, beautiful couple. Her father, look at him. He's black, you big dummies. MAGA is dumb. Republicans are dumb. Not the ones that left the fake Republican Party, but the ones that still under Donald Trump. Y'all are the dumbest party ever. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, little baby Jesus, black Jesus. Come fix it, please. These people are the most ignorant people ever. You killing Martin Luther King's dream. I'm going to show you a video, and it is being said that Donald Trump will not win, which VP Kamala Harris has already won. I checked the polls today. His rally at Madison Square Garden did not help him. It actually hurt him. So y'all need to tell your president, your savior, but he is an effer. Not that he just has 6 bankruptcies, but he's a felon with 34 felonies. Oh my God. I don't even know a black or Mexican or anybody had those many felonies. 34 felonies. Black people don't even have that. So what that say about the white race? Y'all are falling. That's why y'all don't want people getting the A word, their children. Because your race is declining. And you're afraid of the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans and the list go on for Latinas. You're afraid they're going to overtake. You're scared. MAGA and the white race is scared. They're no longer the majority when it comes to black and brown people. Fear is in thee. Fear is Donald Trump and the MAGA maggots.
This is it. Voters are casting their ballots. And now is your last chance to make a meaningful donation to the Harris-Walz campaign.
One moment.
It's up to all of us to fight.
My opponent spends full time talking about just kind of diminishing who we are as America and talking down at people. Talking about, I don't know, that we're the garbage can of the world. We're not.
Kamala Harris going in on Donald Trump and that closing rally message that we heard last night. There she was speaking in Michigan. We're joined now by James Carville, legendary Democratic strategist. His new piece in the Times is said, that I should say is where he says, why I'm certain Kamala Harris will win. We'll get to that, but welcome, James. 8 days out. As I've tried to do each night here, I go through the numbers. I'm curious your thoughts on the high turnout, some of the other themes, but let's start with that question I raised. What Donald Trump and his team, selected by him, vetted by him, way too late in the season and the hour to claim you didn't know who you were putting on that very big stage. His team and what he and they argued last night. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are this. I looked at it, and, you know, they came after women. I said nothing because I'm not a woman. They came after Puerto Ricans. I said nothing because I'm not a Puerto Rican. They came after black people. I said nothing because I'm not black. But then they came after watermelons. That's where James Carville comes out of his chair. Okay, next thing you know, they're going to come after gumbo, and they're going to take our gumbo away from us. It was so disgusting. It was so racist. It was so misogynistic. The only way to deal with this is through humor. If you try to deal with it by being serious, you'll just get so mad and so raged you can't see. So you're gonna have to take my cold dead hands off my watermelon. I can tell you that right now. We're not going there.
There you go. Spoken like the Raging Cajun. Let's link it to the math. There's a lot that goes on. We've lived through a lot.
Right.
But the math is the factual history. Donald Trump did about 46% in 2016 and got the Electoral College. He did about 46% in 20 and lost. And I ask you, did what we see and saw and lived just tonight and through the rally last night, does that help him get up over that 46% ceiling he's had?
He lost in 2018. He lost in 2020. He lost in 2022. The Democrats have won every election that's been held in the last 2 years. Trump is a giant loser. And the sooner people acknowledge that and know that is true, they stop fearing him. The stuff last night was so over the top, it's unbelievable. Let me just one little factoid here. You know how many Puerto Rican voters there are in Pennsylvania? 273,000. This is going to cost you both. And a substantial Puerto Rican vote, also in Michigan. And I've worked, these are very prideful people. They describe the Puerto Ricans first. They describe that is their identity marker. And this is a community that is not going to take well to this. I promise you. And there's a ton in Florida, which is going to end up being a lot closer than anybody thinks. But have Steve Kornacki look around and see how many Puerto Rican voters there are in swing states. And there's a lot, and they much more identify with their island than almost anybody else around the world. I promise you that.
And look, I don't do a ton of generalizations. I'll say most people, when you attack them for who they are, where they come from, or you try to paint them all with one brush, most people don't find that a very appealing closing argument or a respectful way to engage. I want to go to the numbers again, because now we're in it. I mean, almost a third of people voted from the last electorate numerically. People are voting right now. We're in it. We won't have the results till later. The Republicans, as you know, have made a big deal out of showing a type of confidence or hype or bluster. In 22, they even tried to pollute the sort of polling markets to that effect. We've heard a lot more talk on the right about they're going to win. Your op-ed and some of what you've been saying lately is a more confident model than the anxiety we've heard from Democrats. If you go to the popular vote over the years, I want to show this because it's a point you and others have said. Nationally, Republicans don't usually get the total vote. They don't usually win more votes. This is how many times people have picked more people have picked the Democrat for the White House. And then the 2020 map, why don't you walk us through this, James? Do you see Harris holding this winning coalition, this map, or how would it be different, you think?
It probably, I mean, to be honest, Magro says we may not do, there's a lot of talk, we may not do as well with non-white voters as we did in 2020 in terms of turnout, in terms of total vote. It might be a little bit off. But anyway, I think whites are really, just to give you my analysis, college white males tend to be a lot more pro-choice than other males, and they also have something to lose in this economy. And there's a lot of non-college white women who are very pro-choice, and a lot of Hispanic women. That people think that's why we held on and won Nevada in 2022. So this entire reproductive rights thing is not germinated like it's going to do on election day and people in early voting. And you see all this early vote analysis, to the person they all say it's more heavily female than it should be, and I'm not surprised by that. It makes me, we're going to win. Okay, this is not the country I live in. This is just I refuse to believe that. We're going to win because this is not who we are. There are other reasons. You pointed out brilliantly. The surrogate game, we're 98-2 up. We have every kind of surrogate you can think of. Entertainment surrogates, cultural surrogates, political surrogates, athletic surrogates. Our cup runneth over, and they help coming down the stretch because you can deploy them in many different places, and they can, like Beyonce did. So I'm very encouraged. I'm very comfortable with my prediction.
Hey, he mentioned Beyonce. Hey, yes. I love Beyonce too. I'm right along with him. And you know what? Donald Trump was like, Kamala dancing at disco with Beyonce. He was so jealous because Beyonce would not support him, nor would she come to anything that Donald Trump has. Not the Queen Beyonce, definitely not. Not the beautiful Beyonce. Why would she support Donald Trump? She's a person of color. She would never support a maggot junkie loser Donald Trump. No. So the purpose of me talking about racism and everything, because what's going on in this election, which MAGA gets in my chat, and they so pissed that I'm talking about it because they don't like when people tell them they are racist, but you are. So the purpose of this is because Donald Trump had that comedian there that was racist like him, but he just put it all out on the table. Let me tell you something about being a black and brown person. We love when you put it out on the table because it let us know exactly who you are, which we already know what you think. We're just glad you put it out there. Let it flip off your little funky tongue that you've been bootlicking Donald Trump. Just let it flick off and let us know. And that's what that comedian did. So the purpose for melanin, I am a person of color. I have melanin in my skin. I get dark in the summer and lighten up when it get winter. And melanin is a beautiful thing. Only the black and brown people know about that. So we don't age as fast. Like me, I'm 50 years old, but I don't look my age because I have what? Melanin. Melanin is a vital pigment, producing compound responsible for determining the color of the skin and hair. A deficiency in melanin can lead to a severe disorder or disease. For example, a complete absence of melanin causes a skin condition. Okay, MAGA, what is your skin condition? Because you have no melanin. MAGA, I'm going to read this to you again. Melanin is a vital pigment producing compound responsible for determining the color of your skin and hair. A deficiency in melanin can lead to severe disorder and disease. For example, a complete absence of melanin causes a skin condition. Melanin, me, I got melanin. That's why I'm 50 years old and I have not wrinkled. I'm born female because these big dummies from MAGA in my chat keep saying, when did I transition? I had a baby out of my real vagina. My daughter is 31 years old and she's beautiful like me with nice hair and skin like her mama. You don't have any melanin. The person made that stupid comment trying to say I'm transitioning. Well, you're transitioning because you want to be black, but you don't have no melanin. So sit your pale caucus ass down. And pray God put some melanin in your skin so you can stop wrinkling and go and get fillers and Botox. Something I would never get because I'm 50 and I don't have to get that. God made me with melanin. Black and brown people has melanin. And we're beautiful because of our brown skin. So, every day of my beautiful life, I thank God for my beautiful skin with melanin. God bless me with the beauty of my dark skin. And because he did it, I do not age fast. So you can criticize black and brown people all you want, because when you're my age, 50, you're going to look like shit with wrinkles. And you go get Botox fillers, all this cream and crap you're buying, when you should just drink some turmeric in your juice and be good. But no, you got to go do all this extra stuff and you can't go sit out in the sun like we can. And we get brown and browner and just look so beautiful. So MAGA, stop burning up the voting boxes, the ballot boxes, because that's not going to stop the black and brown people vote. No, because all those people going to do that know they put their ballots in those boxes, they're going to get their beautiful brown tails in that line and vote again, because they know how important this election is. So you're not stopping the black and brown vote. Donald Trump, with your orange face and that big stomach that you got on a girdle wearing, and that stupid toupee that VP Kamala Harris already mollywopped you on the floor at the debate, you ain't stopping the black and brown vote, nor is that comedian. They don't stand a chance against the people with melanin, and I tell you that. You ain't stopping SHIT. So we're going to lead up out of here with this video, and I hope it leads us to greater pastures. Who's to say? Who's to say? I pray it does. That's all I can do. Because for some reason, MAGA, the people with no melanin, they're going to stop the black and brown people. from their vote. Well, honey, you can't stop me because this beautiful brown queen, she voted early. Like her father taught her, you always early vote because you can't trust them people with no melanin. They always up to something, like they stole the whole country.
The Catholic Church is the oldest, the largest, and the most powerful non-governmental organization on the face of the earth. How large is the Catholic Church? It is so large that it is the biggest right-wing organization on the planet. It is also the largest left-wing organization on this planet. Suffice to say, we're talking big. And it just got done absolutely slamming Donald Trump and calling him out on the carpet for the entire world to see. I'm going to show you what the official Catholic Church said to Donald Trump. But first, you have to appreciate that the official Catholic Church does not get involved in politics. Are there rogue priests and bishops here and there that say stupid things and tell Catholics they can't vote for Democrats? Yes. Remember, largest organization in the world. You're never going to get that big without letting in some...
Chris says, I will enjoy seeing her cry when he wins. Chris, this pretty face and all this natural long curly hair ain't going to be dropping a tear because VP Kamala Harris she already won. So you're going to need Kleenex, girl.
Excommunicated if they voted in the first elections after Italian reunification. Back then, the Pope didn't want to give up governing in Italy. Now, has the church meddled here and there, sometimes outrageously so, in politics? Yes, absolutely. But by the late 20th century, the church developed a position that it would try and influence policy, but not who gets elected. So for the official church to step into the presidential campaign and formally rebuke a candidate is pretty much unprecedented. This isn't some right-wing bishop trying to make a name for himself by denying communion to some Catholic politician like Joe Biden. This is the Archbishop of Puerto Rico, Roberto González Nieves, publicly and unequivocally condemning the behavior of Donald Trump. In an open letter, the Archbishop not only upbraids Trump, but also does his best to diminish him. Here's the letter. And the first thing you want to note is the title he assigns to Trump, former president of the United States. Now, that's accurate, but you also know that Trump hates that title, and no one in MAGA world is allowed to say it. And for those of you who want to dismiss that as just a formality, look at the formal address. He uses Mr. Trump instead of Mr. President. The formal mode of address for former presidents is Mr. President. But Archbishop González Nieves tosses that out for the more diminutive Mr. Trump. Nice dig, Your Excellency. Nice. He then goes on to state, having consulted with my brother bishops of Puerto Rico, as Archbishop of San Juan de Puerto Rico, I was dismayed and appalled by the comments made by the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe yesterday, Sunday, October 27th, at your rally at Madison Square Garden. Hinchcliffe said, there's a lot going on, like, I don't know if you know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is not a floating island of garbage. Puerto Rico is a beautiful country inhabited by a beautiful and noble people, which is why in Spanish it's called un encanto, un Eden. More Puerto Rican soldiers died in the Vietnam War as part of the United States military than soldiers from any state of the United States. Okay, let's just take a moment there and appreciate another titular lesson in humility and the subtle art of the implied insult. There are boundless ways in which the Archbishop can cement the reputation of Puerto Rico, and indeed he starts with its natural beauty and splendor from its pre-colonial history. He then very quickly jumps to the Vietnam War, a war in which Trump is a known draft dodger and references the Puerto Rican soldiers who died fighting in Vietnam. Donald, ya burnt. The
Ozempic will kill you.
1 moment, please.
Or at least that's what the news makes it seem.
The Archbishop then went on to say, I enjoy a good joke. However, humor has its limits. It should not insult or denigrate the dignity and sacredness of people. Okay, and here you have to appreciate how quickly the Archbishop can switch gears. First, a subtle jab at Trump's cowardice, and then the promotion of Catholic theology, the dignity and sacredness of people. One can't help but speculate, though. Putting a subtle dig at Trump right next to a remark about human dignity. Then he continues. Hinchcliffe's remarks do not only provoke sinister laughter, but hatred. These kinds of remarks do not have a place in society founded upon liberty and justice for all. Hinchcliffe's remarks do not promote a climate of equality, fraternity, and goodwill among and for all women and men of every race, color, and way of life, which is the foundation of the American dream. These kinds of remarks should not be a part of the political discourse of a civilized society.
Hi, Queen
Did
Tia.
the Archbishop just call out the MAGA movement? He pretty much did. But now comes the roundhouse slam. I call upon you, Mr. Trump, to disavow these comments as reflecting in any way your personal or political viewpoints. It is not sufficient for your campaign to apologize. It is important that you personally apologize for these comments. And that is what is so historical about the Archbishop's letter. For the first time in his adult life, Trump is being asked to take personal responsibility for the consequences of his actions. And in case there's any doubt, he doubles down on the specificity of what Trump needs to do. It is important that you personally apologize for these comments.
Now, y'all know that is never going to happen because Trump is a racist. He would not be apologizing because that's in his blood from his ancestors and his father. He ain't going to apologize for what he has said about black and brown people, what the comedian said, what J.D. Vance has said, the one that's confused by his sexuality, the hunter, the one that ran around in a blonde wig and carrying a woman's purse, but says he's not gay. Come out the closet, J.D. I don't care if you got a wife. It's download men everywhere, and they have wives and girlfriends, but they like 12 inches from a black man. Yeah. This has been an interesting day. This has been a great show. I took y'all to class on melanin, racism, what a racist is, of the purpose of melanin, white supremacy. I'm going to give you the definition again about white supremacy, okay? White supremacy, the belief that white people constitute a superior race and should therefore dominate society, typically to exclusion or the detriment of other racial or ethnic groups. So, MAGA, when you go trying to fight people at the polls, think of that definition. When you go try to burn up more ballot boxes, think you're going to stop the black and brown vote, think of that definition, because that's who you are. And when you go, think about the prejudice, antagonism, and how you marginalize black and brown people. Do that. And hopefully God can get in there and touch that soul so you would not be a rotten person anymore. Get some love in your heart and pray to black baby Jesus. Do that. You need Jesus badly. I want to say, I thank each and every last one of y'all. And again, I thank God for my melanin. I do. Thank you, Jesus. I'm 50. I don't have any wrinkles. I'm born female. Got a real vagina. Birthed a baby out of this beautiful vagina. Yes, black vagina. Beautiful black and brown vagina. In my closing, I want to say there's hope for tomorrow. On November the 6th, the next day after November 5th, we will be saying President Kamala Harris. God bless America. All the colors in the crayon box. God bless America. Yes, God bless America. President Kamala Harris and VP Tim Walz. That's what we're going to be yelling November the 6th. God bless America and thank you all. I love you all. I thank you. Bye.